Week 2 covers chapters 4, 5, and 6. Chapter 4 is cultural competence. Let's take a look. Our own cultural competence starts with our perception and attitudes that are influenced by our own culture. A really great journal topic to write about is your own culture. Understanding our own perceptions will be very important in working with others. When we work with others from cultures different from our own, it is our ethical responsibility to become acquainted and seek to understand them from our client's perspective. Here are some important definitions. Culture generally refers to an entire society where the citizens share a common understanding. The subculture, these are fractions of the overall culture that have their own beliefs and ideas. Race and ethnicity groups are biological factors that refer to a group of people who share a common cultural heritage. Our own cultural upbringing may cause us to be uncomfortable around those that are unfamiliar and who we don't know much about. Sometimes these feelings solidify into attitudes and judgments, the result of which is a we versus them attitude. This attitude leads to reluctance to explore other cultures. Please take this time as a developing professional to learn all that you can, especially about those populations that you may work with. The way to break any we versus them attitudes is to seek to find the exceptions. Look for differences than what we regularly believe. The exceptions indicate that there is more to learn, and in fact that all people of whichever culture are not the same. Then we can recognize that there is a lot that we don't know, and that we can be open to finding out more about that culture. The textbook talks about two dimensions of culture. Cultures are either individualistic or collectivistic. Individualistic cultures, such as in Western society, are focused on individuals and their families. Collectivistic cultures, such as those in Eastern societies, are focused on the group or on the benefit of the whole. When meeting a client for the first time who may be from a different culture that we are unfamiliar with, it may be helpful to do a first dimensional view as either individualistic or collectivistic. Of course, being aware that this is just a first dimensional view and the need to seek to understand all facets of culture will be important. Individualistic cultures are more focused on the family and self. There is a maximum emphasis on the individual outcomes, me and mine. Generally, these societies are more vertical and value freedom. Collectivistic cultures are all about the we and cooperation and group, emphasizing belonging. On the downside, the collectivistic cultures tend to de-emphasize personalization and promote conformity. This is the way we all do it. Some more definitions to understand, especially prior to taking the quiz for the week. As you develop into professionals, the assumption is that you will become more culturally competent. Culturally competent workers are adaptable, flexible, and have a commitment to give high quality service to every person who comes for assistance. Some of you students may have very broad and diverse cultural experiences. However, it is time to be aware that San Luis Obispo is not a very broadly diverse population. With approximately 77% of the population is Caucasian, and the only other threshold population is Hispanic. So working within San Luis Obispo County, however, there are many subpopulations that you may work with in your work here. For example, the youth culture is quite different than the older adult retiree population of the county. The geographics of our area is very different for North County than are different for South County beach styles and ideas. Regardless of culture, competent workers are respectful of all whom we work with, and we let others know they have been heard and their concerns are significant. Cultural and social status are macro levels of interventions, and as we learned in Chapter 3, our first priority is the micro level, showing respect to all to build those working relationships.